with that. We got all these cameramen around here, it's sound like they're doing something great. We are here for the Bull City Brawl, ladies and gentlemen. This fight is brought to you by Pink Promotions, Christy Martin Promotions, in association with Gardner Payne Boxing. We are ready to have great fights here in Durham, North Carolina. Before we get started, we got a little business to take care of. There is no smoking inside the building. If you're going to smoke, make sure you go outside and smoke, and make sure what you're smoking is legal. If you're taking pictures, you can take pictures before the lights on your camera have got to be off. No flash photography and no lights on your camera. We'll give you a warning the second time we're either going to take your camera or we're going to make you leave the building. You pay too much money for that to happen, so please don't. It affects the fighters, it affects the officials. Don't flash the lights and stuff like that when they're fighting. Between rounds, before the fights, after the fights, do as much as you want. We don't care. Eyes and remove your hats as we pay homage to this great country of ours with the singing of the national anthem. Please welcome.
Thanksgiving Day 2007. Defrosted, ready to go, some giblets.
I think we got our next contender for the voice right there. We're going to send her up there next year. Great job, Sergeant. Thank you very much. And thank you for your service. Speaking of which, I've got the Durham Recruiting Center here. On behalf of the U.S. Army. They're up there. They've got some free Army stuff right there in front of the stage. So go check it out. Those guys do a great job. The men and lady of the U.S. Army right up there in front of the stage from the Durham Recruiting Center. Just don't sign anything unless you want to get recruited and taken away tomorrow. Just be careful. Well, check it out. We appreciate them coming out here helping us out tonight. Our physician here ringside tonight, Dr. Nidecker, is with us right here ringside. You see Dr. Nidecker putting on his rubber gloves. Guys, don't bend over in front of you, if you know what I mean. Our three judges scoring in the 10-point bus system. The lovely Tiffany Sorber, ladies and gentlemen. Our man, Mr. Kelvin Scott, and Mr. Steele.
The monitor's off, you see that?
We got two referees. We'll introduce them when they get in here. They'll alternate as professional timekeepers, and so we'll be doing all kinds of good stuff with them. We've got concession stands out in the hallway. They got some great food. The guy up here looks like he's got a bunch of Jello shots all set up for us. I don't know what he's selling back there, but he's doing something great. So check him out. We got some drinks over here. We got stuff all over the place. The lovely ladies are walking around. Make sure you tip them well. Give them a lot of money. They need it. They're both in college. So we're trying to get that taken care of. And if you don't have enough money for drinks, Crockett Long from Long Beverages here, he said he will give you a loan tonight at 25%. Right, Crockett? That's the man right there. That man can play golf better than anybody I've ever seen. He should have been on a pro tour. Mr. Crockett Long from Long Beverage. All right. We're getting ready for our first fight of the evening. This first fight will be in the welterweight division. In the red corner, I need Terrence Brown. You don't know these fighters, folks. Cheer them on. The more you cheer, the more they're going to fight, the harder they're going to fight.
You know, I got no monitor, right?
These people are ready to rock and roll.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a beautiful night of boxing brought to you by Christy Martin Promotions. And here we are at the beautiful downtown Armory in Durham, North Carolina. where we're going to have a night full of great action-packed fights, and we're going to be calling it the Bull City Beatdown, located right here in Durham, as I said earlier. We got ring announcer Bruce Foster just getting ready to make things happen here with the introductions as he's just started. And here we have the first fighter entering the ring. This is going to be Terrence Brown. He weighed in tonight. Terrence Brown weighed in at about 149 pounds, 149 and a half.
What's Foster's record? All right, Durham, here we go. Our first big fight of the night. Little City Bull, get ready to go. First, let me introduce you. Fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing black trunks trimmed in white. He weighed in 149.5 pounds. He comes to us from Richmond, Virginia. He had an amateur record of 15 wins against only 3 losses. He is making his professional debut. Right here tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Terrence Brown. His opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, he's wearing the white trunks trimmed in green. He weighed in an even 150 pounds. Originally from Norfolk, Virginia, now training and fighting out of Atlanta, Georgia. His record, 3 wins, no losses, 2 big wins by way of knockout. Please welcome Randy Macho Foster. Your friend, Mr. Al Coley.
All right, here we go. We're going to get the ringside instructions by the referee. And these guys are going to be seconds away from the first bell. Giving each other a little stare down. And here they go, a little touch of the gloves. First bell is going to ring right now. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready. Here we go, the start of the fight. Okay, both seem to be in orthodox style, which means they are leading with their left jab. And styles make fights, ladies and gentlemen. We often see fighters that are more on their feet in boxing and a fighter that can cut the ring off and come at you with a bob and weave style or come in as a puncher. But these two right now, they look like they're just going to feel the round out for each other and get their distance with each other. Seems to be a jab or two by Foster. Now he switches. There goes the right hand. He let the right go. He definitely hit Brown with that right hand. I think that caught the attention of Brown right now. Brown again is making his professional debut. Brown is in the black trunks with the white stripe. Foster is in the green and silver trunks. There we go. Brown's trying to get his distance and his balance with his jab, with his feet underneath him. Trying to feel his way out here. Okay, he just got caught with a left hook. That right hand's got to be up high. Got to keep that right hand and catch and protect that hook. All right, looks like now we have Foster is trying to work his way and cut the ring off on him. He hits him with a great right hand. Oh, he's hitting him with a combination. All right, Brown seems to have taken those shots, and he's trying to move away. Foster looks like he's going to try to be serious here and get him out early. We'll see what happens here. He's got him in a corner. Let's see if he lets him out or if he's going to keep him in there. He's got to move away from the ropes. Right now we got Brown. He's got to get some distance and move away. He's going to be a stationary target. He's going to get caught. His hands are low. He's got to bring them up, and he's got to start moving and throwing punches. Foster looks like he's just trying to size him up, and there goes Brown. Brown's coming at him. Brown caught him with a shot, and there goes Foster coming right back. Good action-packed first round, ladies and gentlemen. Again, Foster looks like he's more authoritative with that jab. He creates the distance. He sees what's opening up with that jab. He's keeping his right hand cocked right by his chin. He's going to let it fly as soon as he feels he can. When he sees that opening. And we look like Brown looks like he's just trying to feel his way in. He's swinging wild punches, a little bit wide, and he's got to keep those hands up by his head. Otherwise, he's going to get out early tonight. He just got caught with a good combination. Oh, he came in with a wide uppercut. All right, we got a few seconds left in the first round here. And that is the end of the first round here with an action-packed opening for a first round between Randy, the Macho Foster versus Terrence T-Bone Brown. And that was the end of the first round. And I'm going to have to say, ladies and gentlemen, I think in my mind, I think that we got Foster winning that round.
This is Danielle. Danielle comes to us from Portland, Maine, where her father owns a lobster fishing boat up there.
Of course, ladies and gentlemen, my score is completely unofficial. It's just my opinion, but I do love to score fights. And if we use the 10-point must system, which means you give 10 points to the winner of that round, and you give 9 points or less to the loser of that round. If it's a knockdown that occurs in a round, it's usually a 10-8. Here we are, getting ready for round 2. All right, we're getting ready for round 2, and there's the bell for round 2. Let's see what happens. Foster comes right out with that jab. And again, we got Brown. He's looking like he's willing. He's just coming in with a little bit of, he looks a little wild at times, but he definitely is in this fight. Foster keeps on sticking that jab out there, which is good. You got to keep that distance. You got to keep that range, and that jab works on a multitude of reasons right there. That jab keeps your distance. It lets you know where the openings are occurring, and you're keeping yourself busy in the fighter's face. And right now, that jab just opened up a couple things, but Brown does come right back with a right hand, and he caught Foster with that right hand. He walked in with a right lead that didn't work. Foster's trying to size him up again. He feinted with a left hook. No damage, no exchange. Here goes the jab again. Brown's taking that jab. He's stationary with that head. There he goes. He's moving the head now. Keep those hands up and lunges in wildly with the right hand. Just hit the side of the body. He's coming at him. There's a right hand, hit the elbow. Right hand to Foster from Brown. Okay, just there, he got caught with his head down, and Foster hit him with an uppercut. And there's a good right hand that Foster just nailed Brown with. Good right hand. Brown was holding on there. Let's see, he's backing up a little bit. I think he might be a little shaky. He's lunging right now with some wild punches. And it looks like Foster's now starting to work the body. He's got him. He's tracking him down. He's cutting the ring off. He's just sizing him up. There's another good body shot. Brown does seem like he's trying to take this shot and try to weather the storm, but he's taking some good shots right here. And it's going to be hard for him to recover right now. He's getting hit in the body. He's getting hit in the head. He's not bringing too much defense, and he's definitely not moving away. He's got to get out of that corner. Oh, he just got caught with a good left hook to the chest. He's thrown a wild uppercut, which landed on Foster. Foster looks like he's just sizing him up and taking his time right now, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Brown may still have some other ideas, but he is definitely taking the punches on the receiving end. There's a big right hand, overhand right to Brown by Foster, and he came back with his own, but he fell short. We got about 10 seconds left in this round, and trying to close this round out big. He's hitting him with shots, and another right hand, left hook, and that's the end of the second round, and I think we have Brown in his own corner, leaning over. He's definitely hurt, and we'll see. His trainer is calling. His trainer just waved off the fight. I think Brown had enough tonight. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I was right there. We just see that the trainer of Terrence Brown waved the fight off, and he talked to Brown, and Brown gave him a shake saying, hey, maybe I had enough tonight, and tonight's not my night. But he gave a good, valiant effort, and I think as his pro debut, I think he definitely had a learning lesson tonight. He went to school, and we'll see what he can learn in a crash course of professional boxing. So that brings Randy Foster up to 4 wins, 0 defeats with another knockout, or TKO that would be called, actually, because the corner did stop the fight. And in the young record of Terrence Brown, he will go to, on his professional debut, 0-1. He'll have his first fight as his defeat. But that doesn't mean he's out. He's got to learn, he's got to come back, and that's what really helps a fighter to find himself as a true fighter. Not how many times you get knocked down, but how many times you get back up to win. We're going to get the official call with this fight, and Bruce Foster is going to be getting up in the ring, and he's going to give us the official announcement at the end of the fight. Both fighters are right now being taken care of, or attended to at their corner by their trainers. There we go. The official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, 3 minutes in the round, number 2, the red corner has retired. Your winner, who is still undefeated, Randy Macho Foster.
All right, so there we have it. We have the end of the first fight. We got Randy the Macho Foster winning his 4th straight fight, and he definitely was dominant there. And we have young Terrence Brown, who made his pro debut, and he's a little bit upset with himself, and can't blame him, but he did lose that fight, and they stopped that fight in the corner. So.
A lot of celebrities sit with us here at ringside tonight. You've already met my man, Crockett Long. I got a guy who's the CEO of Fight Lab down in Charlotte. If you like MMA, you don't want to miss this guy's fight. Friday night, June 22nd. Mr. Kenny Lake down in Charlotte. He helps Christy out. Christy helps him out. They do a great job. You're going to be at the Grady Cole Center down there on Friday night, the 22nd of June. And I'll tell you something, you don't want to be late for that one. They do some great fights in the cage.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be getting ready for the second fight, and it's going to be prove to be a pretty good one. We have let's see who we got. We have Sanchez. He looks like he's a very good fighter. He's got a 7-0 record. And he's a bigger guy. He's about 204 pounds, which will put him into the heavyweight division. I understand he trains out of Las Vegas, and I believe he's also one of the top referees of boxing of late and of history is Richard Steele. I think he's one of Richard Steele's fighters, and they come from Vegas. And he's going to be fighting against Mad Brad Austin from Johnson City, Tennessee. And we see here definitely that Austin has had several fights. I think he's got over 30 professional fights under his belt. And again, Sanchez is a young fighter with a 7-0 record. I think he goes by Nick the Freedom Fighter Sanchez. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just waiting for the fighters to come to the ring, and we are definitely happy to be broadcasting here from the Armory in downtown Durham, North Carolina. They have a sold-out crowd here. It looks like there's probably more than 300 people here. It looks very good. We have rafters that are all full with people in the seats, and we have ringside seats that are all full as well. It's a nice venue, and I'll tell you, it's a nice ring, and they're doing a great job here. Christy Martin Promotions has looked like she's done a real good job here, providing a great night of fights for the fans over here. And also, this broadcast is also being brought to you by LDLTV, and it's also being brought to you part by Sal's Neighborhood Pizzeria on St. Simons Island, Georgia. We want to say hi to all our employees and all of our good old fans and patrons of Sal's Neighborhood Pizzeria. They are our backbone and loyalty of Sal's Neighborhood Pizzeria, and they have a great staff there that makes it happen every day. Here we go.
Outside here in the hallway, we got drinks, got all kinds of good stuff at the table back here. You got some drinks over here with the beautiful, lovely ladies over here. So you can check that out. How about a big hand for the former world champion with a record of 49-7. Former world champion Christy Martin is in the house. Right there, one of the best fighters, pound for pound, man or woman, to ever get into the boxing ring. She was on a lot of Don King shows. She was fighter of the night a lot of times on Don King's show. He gave her like 7 Mercedes-Benz and 2 or 3 Cadillacs, and she deserved every single one of them, I'll tell you. World champion. All right, we're getting ready for fight number 2. You ready, Mr. Scott? World champion Scott Cujo Singer up there. Give me the signals. In the red corner, I need Brad Austin.
All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready for fight number 2. Waiting for the fighters to march in from their dressing rooms. And I'm sure they're going to be coming into their music. So here we go. Here comes the first fighter. Sometimes those walks from the dressing rooms can be a little bit longer than what you thought they would be. There we go. We're going to have Mad Brad Austin coming to the ring first. There he comes, right through the ropes. He's got his red T-shirt on him. As I said, I think Mad Brad Austin has been a veteran of some good ring wars. He's got several fights. I think it's over 39 fights here.
Frank Sanchez.
Next coming into the ring is the undefeated fighter, Frank Sanchez. Here he comes. He's got a red robe. Marching on the outside of the ring right now. Going to his corner, which is going to be the blue corner. Of course, in a squared circle, as we call it, you have 4 corners. 2 that oppose each other. 2 corners are white. Those are known as the neutral corners. Then you have each fighter has either a blue corner or a red corner. You'll often hear a referee give the instructions. If a knockdown does occur, the standing fighter goes to the furthest neutral corner. That's a white corner. Here we go.
Mr. Wayne right here. This man right here in the red corner, he fought Roy Jones Jr. and did a fantastic job. He was a tremendous professional fighter. Give it up for my man, Billy Crowbar Mitchell. And in case you didn't notice, over here in the blue corner, legendary Hall of Fame referee, Mr. Richard Steele, ladies and gentlemen.
There is Mr. Richard Steele, all the way from Vegas.
Here we go. 6 rounds in the cruiserweight
Richard
division,
Steele has
starting
done
out of the
more
blue
world
corner,
title fights in
welterweight
Vegas.
from Trinity,
He is
the
quite
man
a guy.
Young man weighing in at 189 pounds. He comes to us tonight from Johnson City, Tennessee. He is a veteran of 39 professional fights. Please welcome Mad Brad Austin. And fighting out of the blue corner, he's wearing the red trunks trimmed in blue. Weighing in at 204 pounds, originally from Cuba. Now fighting and training up Las Vegas, Nevada. His record, 7 wins, no losses. Please welcome Frank, the Freedom Fighter, Sanchez.
Okay, here we go with what promises to be a pretty good action-packed fight. We've seen a lot of fighters from Cuba of late, and they all come with a serious design to fight and to fight hard. They're not afraid to get in a pocket, to exchange blows, and they're very, very tough. Some of them are very good boxers from the outside too, but they know how to get inside and exchange some good punches. This is scheduled for 6 rounds, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what happens.
Now living here in Raleigh, North Carolina, give it up for our referee, Mr. Wayne Spadola.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are waiting for the first bell of this what promises to be an action-packed fight. Here we go. Sanchez looks like he's right out there with that jab, very authoritative jab. And Brad right now, Austin right there, he just got caught with a good shot, and he tried to grab and hold on right away. Let's see what happens. Okay, there's a good firm jab from Sanchez again. A hook. He just got caught. We got Austin caught with a left hook. He rolled with that one. He weathered that pretty good. He's holding on. They're tangled up right now. Let's the referee separate these two fighters. And Sanchez just looks like he's biding his time. He throws a wild overhand right hand. Just grazed off the shoulder of Austin. Now, Austin's been in the ring professionally at 39 times, so I'm sure he knows how to roll with some punches and move around the ring and keep his feet underneath him, but we'll see. He walked right into a shot. Oh, he just went down on the canvas. Let's see. Yeah, he's up. Referee's going to check him out, wipe the gloves off. He's okay to continue. Let's see what happens. All right. Yeah, he's down again. Okay, tell you what, we just saw Sanchez just jump right on him again with a 4-punch combination, left, right. Finished it and put him down again. He's giving another standing 8 count. We'll see what happens. I think this is going to be a very short fight. Very short fight. Here comes another hook, a body shot, a hook, a double hook, which I've seen a lot of Cuban fighters, and it was one of my favorite combinations there too. You throw a left hook to the liver, you bring it right up to the head, and bingo, that's it. This fight is over. So that was quick work for Sanchez. We just saw that fight just end right before us early in the first round. Well, it was at the end of the first round, but early in the fight. And we saw that Mad Brad Austin got dropped for the 3rd time in the round by a double left hook. That left hook does a damage when you are waiting for another punch and boom, you get hit in the liver and it comes right back up to your head. Yeah, it can hurt. And it was well executed by Sanchez. So our congratulations. Sanchez moves up to 8 wins, 0 defeats. And I'm sure Richard Steele is going to be happy with his progress and his development. fighters as they are brought along and becoming, you start out as a prospect, you get some good fights and some experience. From a prospect, you graduate to a contender. And then when you're in a contendership status, you're going to be looking for a title fight. And if you don't make the title fight and you hang around too long and you do not win, or you're not as successful as the career started out to be, you could wind up being what they call an opponent or a journeyman, which are always dangerous. If you're titled as both, you could pretty much have the night of your life and beat anybody. But it's just a different status and different tag that the fight game will dub you as you progress or lack thereof throughout your career.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, 1 minute, 51 seconds into the first round. Your ITO and still undefeated, Frank the Freedom Fighter Sanchez.
All right, so Richard Steele must be happy with his young protege right there, getting him with another win and another knockout. So we see him move to 8-0, and he's got a nice evening of work behind him, and we'll see what Richard Steele has in store for him next as he climbs up the ladder. Getting some photo op pictures in the ring right now with Richard Steele and his young fighter. Our ring announcer tonight, Bruce Foster, he's quite a guy. I had an opportunity to meet him before the show tonight. We had some words and talked, and he is from New England, and he was also, in the early 70s, a Golden Glove champion of New England. There he is right here.
We've got a young lady who just went into the Carolinas Boxing Hall of Fame last year. She represents USA Boxing. She's been doing it for many, many years. She's one of the give it up for Hall of Famer Eloise Jeffries, ladies and gentlemen, in the house. Eloise right there. There you go, Steve. Thank you. Went in the Hall of Fame last year in the Carolinas. If you've got any amateur fighters that need some information, go ahead and talk to Eloise. She does a fantastic job. Don't forget, we got the concession stands over there out in the hallway. We need to.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get ready for the third fight. We see Bruce Foster up in the ring, just giving some instructions to the multitude of fans here tonight. Yeah, Bruce was a very nice guy when I first got here tonight, and we started talking. As I said, he's a Golden Glove champion of New England back in the early 70s. He does a good job announcing, too. I like his style.
All over the place. When he trains fighters, he does a fantastic job. So if you want to get your kids into MMA or anything, talk to Big Josh. He'll tell you how it works. It's a super job in the Goldsboro area. He travels all over the place. We got another world champion. I just saw her walk in the back door. Get over here, Lisa. Stop walking away from me. She's hiding on me now. Come on back in here. Here she is, walking in the back door. Former world champion, Lisa Holline, ladies and gentlemen. Does a great job. She helps out Christy. Doing a great job for us, working in Charlotte, now here in Durham, North Carolina.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is 2 of the fights that we have tonight that are already finished with, and we have 4 more lined up for a total of 6 fights tonight. We are waiting for the next fight to occur. It looks like it's going to be in a junior welterweight division, and promises to be a very competitive one, a very good one. We have an undefeated fighter again. Here we go.
This young man right here has done 56 world title fights. He's in the Carolina Boxing Hall of Fame. He's in the Legends of Boxing Hall of Fame. And this summer, he's going to the Bare Knuckles Boxing Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so proud of this young man from Pittsburgh, North Carolina. Give it up for Mr. Bill Clancy, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Bill. Bill. Hey, Bill. Crockett said hi.
All right, as I said earlier, we are waiting for the next fight, which looks like it's going to be in a junior welterweight division. We're going to have an undefeated fighter by the nickname of 150%. So I'd like to see that formula. He is from Fayetteville, North Carolina, home of my old Army base of Fort Bragg. And this is Williams, a 139 he came in today. Here we go. Here's the announcement, official announcement.
Remember, if you don't know these guys, cheer them on. They'll fight a lot better if everybody gets behind them. Just pick a corner, pick the red corner, the blue corner, cheer them on. Xavier Ford to the red corner.
Xavier Ford has had 4 professional fights. He's going to be coming up in the red corner. Again, that's Xavier Ford. He weighed in tonight of 137 pounds. And he's got the nickname of the Executioner. And he's from Concord, North Carolina. 4 professional fights under his belt. And he proves to bring a little bit more experience here to the ring tonight. And we're going to see what he can do. He steps into the ring. He's got black trunks on.
His opponent on the blue corner, I need Marko.
There we go. We got another fighter undefeated, 2 early in his career, but 2-0 record, and that's going to be Michael Williams Jr. Nickname is 150%. So we'll see what that percentage turns out to be tonight. So we just look to at least have 100% from everybody. Maybe a little more special with the 150. We'll see. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We got an electrifying atmosphere here tonight. It is full of people that are anticipating some real good. It's a sold-out crowd here, well over 400 people. And I'll tell you what, I am very impressed with Christy Martin Promotions. I mean, not only was she a world champion inside the female boxing ring and 140 pounds, 3-time world champion by the WBC, but I'll tell you what, she's on her championship course to be a heck of a promoter here, as she's given all these local fight fans and people driving from tri-states away here, including Georgia, Jersey. I've seen license plates from all over the place here coming to this fight card tonight. And it is a sold-out crowd. Here we go.
He weighed in at 137 pounds. Originally from Suit, Maryland. Now training and living in Concord, North Carolina. He is a veteran of 4 professional fights. Please welcome Xavier, the Executioner.
All right, here we go. We got the Executioner in red corner. He looks ready.
In yellow and silver. He weighed in at 139 pounds. He comes to us tonight from Fayetteville, North Carolina. He is undefeated in his whole career.
As I said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a big fan of the old Fayetteville area. That's the home of the 82nd Airborne and the Fort Bragg. All right, here we go. Well, Mike 150% Williams has some crowd behind him. He brought a whole crowd contingency right here, and they're all looking for him to have a big night.
Oh, Michael's got Remy Forward and Skip Crumpler in his corner. You can't go wrong with those 2 guys.
All right, they're getting the fighters ready. Took his t-shirt off. These guys keep warm, and they warm up in the dressing room. Don't see much sweat from them working out and getting that first couple of rounds underneath them in the dressing room, but hasn't showed. All these fights have been starting off rather fast tonight. So we assume that these fighters are all ready to go once they get in the ring, and here we go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, getting ready for their 3rd fight to start. The ringing of the first bell, and we're going to see Mike Williams, 139 pounds, 2-0, face Xavier Ford at 137 with 4 professional fights under his belt. We have 2 orthodox fighters, which means they come out with their left jab and their power punch is their right hand. So they lead with the left jab, both of them. And right now we see, a big shot. Big combination delivered by Williams. Xavier Ford's coming at him. He's coming at him. He's looking like he's trying to cut the ring off on him. He's coming at him. He took a great body shot, one to the head, but he's swinging some punches. They're a little wide, a little wild, but he's coming at him with action. And then we see that Williams is weathering some punches, but he's coming back with some big guns of his own. He's firing some good, solid shots, I'll tell you that. There's another lunging right hand from Ford. Oh, and he got caught with a big right hand, and he's getting pummeled in the body, and he goes down with a left hook. He bounces right back up. He shakes his head. He's okay. But we'll see what happens here. Okay, he's got his mouthpiece half out of his mouth, and that's not a good sign, but I think he's trying to talk and tell the referee he's okay. All right, action start to resume right now, and we're going to see what happens. He's wild with that punch. I'll tell you what, he's got to bring those hands right back up. When they leave your face, they got to come right back to your face. Otherwise, you're going to get caught with some big shots, as we've seen here early. Oh, he just gets hammered with a left hook. Down again on one knee. Big left hook. I'll tell you what, Williams is throwing some heavy punches. Ford says he's all right. Xavier stands up. He's a little wobbly. Referee's going to take a good look at him. It's over. It's over. He stumbled. Referee was going to give him a chance. He tripped over his own foot, and he looked like he was stumbling. It could have been an accident, but he's very upset that this fight was stopped. But I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, you got to look out to protect the fighters. And he did not look like he had his feet underneath him 100%. So I think it was a good call, and who knows what could have happened if he got caught with one more shot. It only takes that one last shot, and your life is changed forever. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's another quick fight. And we see Mike Williams from Fayetteville. Mike, 150% Williams from Fayetteville, North Carolina. He improves his record to 3-0, and he's got a nice little pathway chiseled out right now. Xavier Ford, that was his 5th professional fight, and I think he's got to learn and review some of the film here. That's what all fighters could do. They could look at what might have contributed to their failing in the night that they lose a fight, and hopefully they'll learn from that mistake, and they'll take the notes and bring it to the gym with their trainer and study it and improve it for the next time they go out into the ring. We're going to get the official announcement right here, ready to go.
40 seconds into the first round, referee Al Coley calls a halt to the action. Your winner by TKO and
Yeah.
Steele.
Are they getting any FaceTime with me? And there we go. We got another victory there. All right, here we go.
Hi, Billy C. here. I want to talk to you about Sal's Neighborhood Pizzeria and Ristorante Italiano. Sal's Neighborhood Pizzeria and Ristorante Italiano serves the freshest and finest homemade Italian cuisine with Sal's family recipes from the old country. Sal's incredibly delicious brick oven pizza is the best pizza I've ever had. And I'm from New York. Come join us today on St. Simon's Island in the beautiful Golden Isles of Georgia. We're located at exit 29 off of I-95. Sal's is open for lunch and dinner Monday through Saturday, with private parties available on Sundays. For more information, call 912-268-2328 or go to salsneighborhoodpizzeria.com. Sal's Neighborhood Pizzeria and Ristorante Italiano, where new faces become old friends, and our family tradition is to serve you the very best.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Here we are right now, and I'll tell you right now, here we are. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's great to see you, and welcome to the Bull City Beatdown tonight in Durham, North Carolina, where we're having an action-packed night of fights, and we're getting ready for the 4th fight of the night, and we have a sold-out crowd here by Christy Martin Promotions. It's a phenomenal night of fights, and we have our ring announcer, Bruce Foster, is going to call in the next group of fighters here. I hope you are all enjoying the fights here tonight. We're streaming worldwide on some YouTube, Ustream, Periscope, and Facebook Live. So we're streaming all over the major stream networks, and we hope you're enjoying the night of fights. I sure am. I'll tell you, we are having a good time. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us tonight. All right, so we have another fight coming up, and it's going to be another big night of, let's see, we have a 139-pounder, 145-pounder. This is going to be in the junior welterweight and possibly welterweight division, and we're getting ready for the ring announcement right now.
They work at funerals, they work at bar mitzvahs, they work at marriages, they work at everything. So we need to talk to them. Talk to the two DJs back there, Dr. Musicology and Dr. Shock It Up, I think it is. I forgot. I'm getting close, right, guys? Check it out. They do a great job. They got a great sound system. And if you need anybody, if you want to do a wedding or a bar mitzvah or a funeral, you break it up with your girlfriend.
Yeah, the next fight promises to be a good loud one. We're going to have a local favorite. We're going to have a local favorite here from Durham, North Carolina. He's known as the Bull City Bully. And Bull City Beatdown. We're going to be coming. We're going to be seeing the Bull City Bully coming out to fight the next fight at the Bull City Beatdown. And he's going to fight Ace Samples. Ace Samples Ace Samples is from Athens, Georgia. Ace Samples weighed in at 139, so we're going to have Ace Samples face Bully, the Bull City Bully. Billy, the Bull City Bully, in Durham, North Carolina. Bruce Foster does another great job. He's doing a real good job tonight. I like his ring announcing. Christy Martin is coming over here. Maybe we get a shot of her from the camera. Christy Martin has had a phenomenal career in the ring, ladies and gentlemen. Christy Martin is a legend in the female boxing world. She has brought so much to the game, and she is a three-time world champion at 140 pounds, Christy Martin. WBC, Jose Suleiman's organization. And I'll tell you what, she's had a great night of fights. There she is. I'll tell you, we have a lot to talk with. Maybe she'll be coming over here, and we'll all right, we're going to take another commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. Wait for the next fight. We're going to run a nice commercial here with Kenny Bear's All Rub Seasoning here that comes out of Florida. It's a great rub. I've used it, and we have had some great response in our restaurant, even serving some food with it. But I have it home in my cupboard. I use it all the time.
Tell me, Kenny, how is it you rub my belly so fine with that secret rub of yours? And don't even tell me what you're going to do next. I love you, Kenny Bear. Tell me, Kenny baby, what you gonna do next?
Kenny Bear's Old Florida Barbecue Rub and Seasoning. Grab a bottle today.
Hi, Billy C. here. I want to talk to you about Sal's Neighborhood Pizzeria and Ristorante Italiano. Sal's Neighborhood Pizzeria and Ristorante Italiano serves the freshest and finest homemade Italian cuisine with Sal's family recipes from the old country. Sal's incredibly delicious brick oven pizza is the best pizza I've ever had. And I'm from New York. Come join us today on St. Simon's Island in the beautiful Golden Isles of Georgia. We're located at exit 29 off of I-95. Sal's is open for lunch and dinner Monday through Saturday, with private parties available on Sundays. For more information, call 912-268-2328 or go to salsneighborhoodpizzeria.com. Sal's Neighborhood Pizzeria and Ristorante Italiano, where new faces become old friends, and our family tradition is to serve you the very best.
Okay, What we're making here is a homemade pizza, man. Homemade crust, mozzarella cheese, some homemade sauce, pepperonis. Are we finished yet? Hell no. We got 2 more ingredients left. One is this, Kenny Bear's Old Florida Barbecue Rub and Seasoning. Second is this, hickory smoked bacon. What's a pizza without bacon? I say not very good. Take that Kenny Bear's Old Florida Barbecue Rub and Seasoning, man. You spread this stuff on generously. It's not just for ribs, baby. Right here, right now. Flavor, zest, zip, life. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's a pizza with Kenny Bear's Old Florida Barbecue Rub and Seasoning. That there is a pizza right there, man. That's a pizza made with Kenny Bear's Old Florida Barbecue Rub and Seasoning. Grab a bottle today.
Kenny Bear's Old Florida Barbecue Rub and Seasoning. Grab a bottle today.
Thanksgiving Day 2017. We got a beautiful bird here from Publix, and we got her all stuffed up, defrosted, ready to go. Some giblets down in here. I think we're just about ready to put it in the oven, right? Hell no. It's missing one ingredient. Yeah, you guessed it. You damn straight. Kenny Bear's Old Florida Barbecue Rub and Seasoning. It's not just for ribs, baby. It's for turkey. It's for salad. It's even for ice cream. Sprinkle it generously on this bird. I mean, who wouldn't want that flavor? After this bird goes in the oven, we're gonna take it back out, give it another treatment, and then into the smoker it goes. Get your bottle today at southerngourmetspice.com.
Kenny Bear's Old Florida Barbecue Rub and Seasoning. Grab a bottle today.
All right, hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Bull City Beatdown here at the Armory in Durham, North Carolina. We're having a great night of fights here tonight, and we are so excited to bring to you these nights of live fights. It's phenomenal. Christy Martin has done a great job here with the promotion. She's got a sold-out audience. I see everybody here has been very happy. We got in our public here, we have Richard Steele, who is a legendary referee from Las Vegas. He had one of his fighters here tonight, and we're very excited that we saw his fighter do a good job tonight, and I'm sure. And we've had some really neat fights here. We've had some young prospects that are really developing just as you would want your fighter to do so. They've gotten some good experience early on here. So we've seen 3 fights so far. We're halfway through the fight show. We got 3 more big action-packed fights yet to go. And we're going to have a heck of a fight in the main event. That's going to promise to be a good fight. And we're really excited to be here tonight. And I hope you are sitting down enjoying this fight night with us. Brought to you by Christy Martin, LDLTV, and of course, yours truly right here. We're happy to be here with you, and we're thankful that we can bring you a great night of fights. Yeah, this arena is something. I mean, it's a perfect venue for this kind of local fight club. I'll tell you what, you've got about 400 seat capacity, maybe a little bit more, and they sold out all the tickets. And it's a festive atmosphere. They have a concession stand here. They've got some adult beverages and also some nice soft drinks. And people are very happy, very gregarious. They have some great rafter seats here too. It reminds me. I once fought at Seton Hall, an amateur fight, and they had above a basketball court the same type of rafter seats. And when you have a view of a fight, looking down on the ring from the rafters, believe me, it's great because you see a bird's eye view, literally. And you know, the North Carolina boxing fans, I'll tell you, when I moved down south, coming from the Northeast, you have the mecca of boxing. I mean, we love boxing. Moving down south, you have a majority in deep south of MMA fight fans. But I'll tell you, here in North Carolina, you got a great blend of both MMA and boxing fans. And you've had some great fights and the great supporters of the fight game coming from North Carolina. You got a couple world champions in the audience tonight, a couple contenders, and everybody's here to have a great time, a festive night. And it's just amazing to be a part of this show. I'm so happy to be here. And it is really just the way a fight show should be promoted. And I thank Christy Martin for doing that and also giving me the opportunity to be here and being a part of her organization, her show, as well as LDLTV. And we have some real big fights yet to come. And the main event is going to prove to be a real good fight. And we're going to see Kelvin King versus Michael White. And that's going to prove to be a heck of a fight. And we're going to see that fight. Yes, he was a heralded amateur fighter. And then we're going to look, Kelvin King has had a stellar amateur career. He's going to be semi-wind-up. And then we're going to have Donnie Marshall in the main event fight against Chukka Willis. And that proves to be a big action-packed fight. And Donnie Marshall had a great award presented to him last year. He was the North Carolina Fighter of the Year award. He comes in at about junior middleweight division or middleweight division, about 155 pounds he weighed in. So we're going to, they say save the best for last. And this main event's going to prove to be just that, the main event. All eyes are going to be on the main event. But these preliminary fights are all proven to be a great job of what they are, preliminary fights. And they're giving some great headway to some young talent, young prospects that are developing. And they're also giving a good leeway to let the fight fans become more familiar. And that's what happens in a young, early career. You want to get the exposure. You want to try and get a good fan base, because as you develop your fan base, you get called to be more popular, and you'll be fighting in the big rings of Las Vegas, and you'll be fighting in Atlantic City. You'll be fighting all over the world. And you have a good population, a good fan base, and you develop your skills, you hone in, and that's the natural progress of what any good prospect could ever hope for. Okay, we're going to start the fights up back as soon as we can. It's been a good intermission. People are getting up, enjoying, relaxing themselves, and getting a little beverage here and a little snack. So I read in the newspapers today, we were waiting, this is Thursday, and we have had the heavyweight division is really taking on a great forefront we have in the heavyweight division of boxing today. And you have Deontay Wilder, who is undefeated, and he is in a great position to unify all the world title belts against the majority title belt holder coming from England, and that is Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is a phenomenal fighter. These are both heavyweight champions in their own right and in their own division. They are the king of the heavyweights right now, and they were negotiating today. They met in New York City with their representation and their promoters, their managers. They're trying to iron out a deal so they can give the fans what we all want, and that's going to be a heavyweight championship title unification, where one champion is going to walk away from this fight with possibly all 5-6 belts, and they're going to be an undisputed champion. And they'll reign for that for as long as the organizations allow them to not make it mandatory. But it'll be a great concept, great thing, and it's all eyes are on the heavyweights right now. We have some big things happening with the boxing world. We were going to be fortunate enough. It did not happen. We were all looking forward to the rematch between Canelo Alvarez and Triple G, Gennady Golovkin, who was undefeated and looking to hold on to his middleweight championship belts. And that fight was called off and postponed. Although we have Triple G, he is going to go take that May 5th fight date. It just will not be against Canelo Alvarez, who has had a little bit of a suspension due to the findings of illegal substance in his bloodstream, having to do with possible steroids or so. I'm not really sure, so I'm not going to say. But the bottom line is, we try to see the best fights that are out there today. You've got a lot of young talent out there today. And, I think that boxing is on a resurgence of growing. And all we can ask for is the best putting out their best performance. And when you look at fighters from my generation, that was what they did. That's what we did. We challenged ourselves. We wanted to fight the best competition to prove we were the best. And we're starting to see that happening today. We're starting to see these young prospects, these undefeated fighters, challenging themselves and wanting to fight what they assume, what they hear is the best out there. And I think boxing is going to have a definite resurgence, and we see that happening with all the heavyweights that are partaking in the elimination process to deserve a title shot, as well as all the other weight classes below it. All right, guys, we are starting up some action-packed 3 more fights to go, including the main event, which is going to prove to be a real bombshell here tonight. So we're hoping you're enjoying your evening here with us. We're certainly enjoying broadcasting it from beautiful Durham, North Carolina. And here we are at the old Armory here, and we have a lot of military here too. And God bless our military, God bless our country here. And we had the flag, we all stood up, we had the Star Spangled Banner, and we have a lot of good old people here that are very loyal to our flag. And this is God's country down here too. So here we go. We're going to go back up right now to Bruce Foster, who's going to take the show. So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us. We got an action-packed night coming to you.
Here we go, in the red corner, I need Ace Samples.
They just called Ace Samples into the ring, and here he comes. Getting ready to climb up the steps to go through the ropes. Looks like Ace Samples weighed in today about well, actually yesterday they had a weigh-ins. I think he came in about 155, so we'll call him a junior middleweight. Or a catchweight, we'll call that, because junior middleweight division is a 154-pound limit. Next weight class above that, ladies and gentlemen, is the famous middleweight division, which is 160 pounds. And it's amazing how we have all these different weight classes today. And these fighters, you know, I often think about when I fought in my career, we had the same day weigh-ins, and which meant that morning of that fight, and we had to weigh 135-pound lightweight limit. We had to weigh in at 135-pound lightweight limit. And then we had the rest of the afternoon to replenish and regain some of our strength and drink our Gatorade and maybe come into the ring maybe 5 pounds heavier than what we weighed in at. Today, what they do the day before weigh-ins, and you can dry out your body. You could lose 20 pounds and step on a scale at 135, and by the time you get in a ring, the next day you might be up to 155, 160 pounds. It's happened. I'm not saying it's a good practice. It certainly is. It's a lot of stress on your body. Here we go. We have definitely a festive night here, and we're getting ready to see the Bull City Bully coming into the ring from Durham, North Carolina. One of the local fighters here, one of the local favorites, and he proves to be giving us a night of action here. He has a record, I believe, of 5 wins, 1 defeat. And he's going to be facing Ace Samples. Ace Samples has been in the ring for a little while. He looks like he's warming up. He looks like he's ready to fight. He's smiling. He's having a good time right now under the cameras and the lights. And the Bull City Bully is getting ready to take his robe off, and we're going to have the ring announcer give us all the introductions here from Bruce Foster.
Silver trunks. He comes to us from right here in the city of Madison, Durham, North Carolina. His professional ring record, 5 wins against only 1 loss. 3 big wins by way of knockout. Please welcome Marko, the Bull City Bully.
All right, here we go. We got Marko, the Bull City Bully, taking off his robe, and they got to slip off his T-shirt there. He's got it on his dark T-shirt, and we're going to see what happens to get this fight underway. He's definitely a local favorite, a fan favorite. And again, we have 2 fighters here going to meet in the center ring to get the referee's instructions. You touch gloves. We're going to wait for the first bell. This is my old weight class, so I'm going to look at this and see what we got here. Both fighters are ready, and there's the first bell. Round 1 has started. They come out. Gentlemen touch the gloves, okay? And they're both trying to see. And there's a little feint by Ace Samples. He's shaking his head. He's moving in like he's going to throw a punch. But the jabs are actually thrown by Marko. He's waving that left hand down quite low. Probably as a distraction, but he should get that hand up there. All right, Samples. Samples just comes in. Got his distance with that left hand and came in with a lunging right hand, but he did hit the mark. All right, we see right now, we see from Marko, the local favorite here. He's starting to put the punches together. He's getting his distance. He's throwing out a jab. They took all of maybe 35, 40 seconds to fill each other out. Now they're a little bit acquainted, and they're going to start dancing. I can see it right now. All right, there's still there goes an attempt at a body shot, but Samples did not get hit. I don't like Marko keeping that left hand low. He's open for a right hand right there, and it could be lights out fast. He just got caught with a left hook, a left lead actually, good straight left hand just caught him. And because now we see Samples switch to southpaw style, and Samples is giving Marko some trouble. Samples just came in with a left hand. They're tying each other out in the middle, tying each other up in the middle of the ring. And I'll tell you what, right now, I see Samples, showing a little bit of concern, but having a little bit of fun out there at the same time. He just walked into a heck of a left hand by Marko. Marko's keeping that left low. He's crouching down. He's exchanging some punches. Samples just walked into a left hand. Samples is a little bit, he's hurt now. Samples just got caught with a good body shot, and he just went down. Samples got caught with a body shot to the liver. It was a left hook, and I'll tell you what, he got caught with that one, and he went right down. It was like a trigger hit him. Boom. He jumped up. He's taking some deep breaths. He's getting standing out. 8 count. Here comes the action. I'll tell you what, and Marko's probably going to try to end this fight early, but Samples coming right back. He's just too wide and too much lunging in with those punches open. Now he switches back to orthodox, and he's got to be careful because he's going back to southpaw. I think he's just got to be sure he keeps those hands up and doesn't whether he just got dropped with a right hand to the body. And you know what? It's a shame because I see him more concerned about switching from orthodox to left hand to southpaw, and in the middle of doing that same switch, his feet weren't underneath him. And Marko saw that opportunity and hit him with a straight right hand to the body, which put him off his feet because he was off balance to begin with. So kudos for Marko's right there because he took advantage of a good opportunity when he saw Samples cross his feet. My unofficial scorecard, of course, due to the knockdown, I'm giving Marcos that round. I was scored a 10-8 round because he dominated that round very heavily and also dropped Samples. I could probably score a 10-7 round. All right, we got both fighters getting on their feet, waiting for the ring of round 2. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see what we can do. Here comes the start of round 2. There's a good jab by Marcos. He's really just trying to get the distance. I don't like him waving that left hand down, but guess what? If it's working for him tonight against this kind of opponent, who am I to judge? All right, we have Samples coming back with that southpaw style. And when he's a southpaw, he's getting inside and he's landing some punches. He just caught Marcos with a straight left hand. Marcos tying him up, and Marcos' back is to the ropes. So Samples, maybe he just has to decide to stay a southpaw because that southpaw style is giving Marcos, who's an orthodox fighter, a little trouble. Now he switches back to orthodox. Then he switches back to southpaw. I mean, this is going to be bad for him. And you know what I see, what I see in him, and it was just brought to my attention. I look at his style, I look at his punches, and he is also an MMA fighter. So an MMA fighter has more of the opportunities and ability to do that in an MMA arena. But when you're in against a boxer who's out there to beat you on a level playing field, it's an easy thing to disprove as far as being to your advantage. And right now he's on the receiving end, Samples is, of Marko's punches. He's still effective, though. He's got Marcos in the corner. He's not taking advantage of it. He's got his back to the ropes. There he goes. He throws a left. He throws a left. He throws a right. Marcos turns him around. His hands go up like as if in an MMA striking position. Marcos is throwing that jab out there. Keep that distance between them while he tries to look for the opportunity to lay that big right hand on his opponent. He started and he pulled back. He just went with a one to the belly. He's moving around a little bit. He's trying to box a little bit. Marcos is. And Samples is coming in on him. Samples just ate a good right hand, another left and right. And he switched back to southpaw again. Marcos is still moving and dancing and trying to box him a little bit. And we'll see how good he is on his toes. We'll see. He's moving in the ring. I don't know. He's shifting about. And right now this is what we would call posing. They're just doing some doing a mirror image of just trying to give each other different angles. And he got caught with a right hand that dropped him to his knees. And he's on all fours. And I'll tell you what, he is hurt. Samples is hurt. They stopped the fight, ladies and gentlemen. This is another fight that was stopped. And I'll tell you what, Samples looked like he wanted to continue, but man, he walked right into it. It was a collision. He just lunged in, and as he lunged in, yeah, and you know what was so evident here? You see the MMA. He looked like trying to do an impression of Conor McGregor sticking that hand out there, and as he was doing that, he was coming in, almost using that hand sticking out in his opponent's face, just waving it like a jousting stick or so, and then when he was coming in, bam! He walked right into a good hard punch that dropped him to his knees, and referee saw enough of that tonight and called the fight. So ladies and gentlemen, we're seeing a lot of early fights tonight. And we have definitely seen another one just before our very eyes. And I think they're also, the fighters are being taken care of because, you don't want to have a fighter take too much punishment. I mean, as I said, you never know when that last shot is going to be the one that damages you forever. They're cutting the gloves off of Samples, and you already have the gloves off of Marcos, who's the victor here. He moves to 6 wins, 1 defeat. And this was a good knockout for him. Or TKO, we should say. A technical knockout is when the referee stops the fight due to what he observes or a condition of the other fighter not being really able to continue. And it's called a technical knockout or TKO. Versus a knockout when a fighter is counted out by the score at 10 or does not look like he's going to get to his feet in time. So another fight in the history books in the very great night for Christy Martin and her very successful night of promoting with the Christy Martin Productions being brought to you by LDLTV right here from the Bull City Beatdown at the beautiful, beautiful arena, the Armory in Durham, North Carolina. Yes, and we are right next to Duke University. So I'll tell you why. We have several college students here too. I think working the concession stands too. So we definitely this is a very eclectic crowd here, but they have one thing in common. They may come from all different walks of life, but I'll tell you what. they share the common bond of being a boxing fan. They're here to see their fighters who they like win a good fight and try their best to win. And that's what's so beautiful about watching boxing fans. They may come from different backgrounds, different walks of life, but when they are here under the flag of supporting a fighter and trying to just appreciate what fighters can do, it's good to see. Here's the official announcement.
3 seconds into the second round, referee Wayne Spinola calls a halt to the action. Your winner by TKO, Durham, North Carolina's only, Marko, City Beatdown.
Okay.
A big hand for Ace Samples. He's a kickboxer, and he's going to be fighting down in Myrtle Beach in October. I'm going to put his fights down there. He's a hell of a kickboxer, I tell you. At this time, I'd like to bring a couple people up into the ring for you to meet. Some of these guys were supposed to fight tonight. For one reason or another, their opponents fell out. So I'd like to get up Stevie Massey up here. I'd like Joe Jackson to get in here. I'd like Joel Cordell to get in the ring. I need Jamaal Gregory and Matt Jenkins. Get those guys up here. They're all supposed to fight. Some of them are fighting down in Charlotte. Stevie, are you fighting on the 30th down there? Jamaal, you're fighting on the 30th, right? Down in Charlotte. You got anything to say to the crowd?
Look, man, everybody in here ain't no boxer, no. If you think you got to just come in here and bully me like you a rookie, who you talking to? Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, you a bully me? Well, come show me that. Show me better than you can tell. I know you said, shoot it out, remember? Show me what it look like for the shooter to go down. But I promise you ain't gonna want to do it. I promise. This is a cookout, nigga. We playing spades. I'm the big cooker. I don't know where it is. I ain't know nothing about the ace. I'm the big cooker. That's respect. So June 30th, you have to come see me. Understand that. It's a man's sport. You got to come show me something.
All right, these guys are going to be fighting June 30th in Charlotte, North Carolina. For Pink Promotions and Gardner Payne Boxing, they'll be doing a great job. Christy Martin put on a great show down in Charlotte, North Carolina. Give up for Stevie Massey, Joe Jackson, Joel Cordell, Jamaal Gregory, and Matt Jenkins. Give up, guys, for our local fighters. We need to promote these guys down in Charlotte, North Carolina, June 30th.
Here we go. That's Bruce Foster again.
At this time, I'd like to bring in a former world champion. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to this. This man's record, 37 wins against only 7 losses. He was one of the most feared heavyweight fighters of all time. Everybody was afraid to fight this man. In fact, Lennox Lewis refused to fight him. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the former heavyweight champion of the world, Merciless Ray Mercer.
Ray.
Just went into the Hall of Fame, went into the ring.
All right, there's my buddy Ray Mercer just being introduced in the ring. Ray's been a good friend of ours, and he's visited us at St. Simon's Island many times.
Boxing Hall of Fame, Merciless Ray Mercer, ladies and gentlemen.
Ray's a good old man. He's also, like I was, he was also a soldier out of Fort Bragg, North Carolina. That's where he lives right now. So it's good to see you. Good to see my old buddy Ray Mercer here.
Where's my man Danny Akers? Danny, come here. Where's Danny? Danny's hiding on me somewhere. Where'd he go? Danny Akers, where's Danny? Is he hiding on me?
sunshine.
Danny had a professional record of 26
Here we go.
wins.
26 wins.
No
Wow.
losses.
No losses.
19 wins by knockout. He's the former USPA and IBC junior welterweight boxing champion of the world. Danny Eggers right there.
There he is.
Undefeated, 26-0 with 19 knockouts. Hey, Danny.
Very good. Very good.
It's Steve Smoker. No, Lawrence Cole. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We got another big fight coming at you. This one is 4 rounds of boxing in the welterweight division. In the red corner, bring me Mike White. Mike White to the red corner.
All right, we got Mike White coming into the red corner. He's got a record of 2 wins, 1 defeat. He comes from Charlotte, North Carolina. And he's got, as I said, 2 wins, 1 defeat. Charlotte, North Carolina. They have a great civic center up there I fought out of years ago. And Michael White is going to be facing Kelvin King, who is 1-0 with 1 knockout. So he's undefeated in his early career of 1 fight. And we have Michael White, also young in his career, 2 wins, 1 defeat. And he came in at about 155 pounds. And we know, yeah, about that. And we have Kelvin King at about 149. Kelvin King is from Wilson, North Carolina. We got Michael White. He is from Charlotte, North Carolina. So we got North Carolina fighting North Carolina right now, coming up here.
His opponent in the blue corner, bringing Kelvin King.
Kelvin King, nickname is KO. 1-0 with 1 knockout, and he weighed in at 149 pounds.
welterweight division. The man in charge is Mr. Al Coley.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's Bruce Foster to introduce the fighters.
He's wearing a black trunks trimmed in red. He weighed in at 149 pounds. He comes to us from Charlotte, North Carolina. His professional record, 2 wins against only 1 loss. 1 big win by world knockout. Please welcome Mike White. His opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing trunks trimmed in gold. He weighed in at 149 pounds. He is from Wilson, North Carolina. He is undefeated in 1 round. That big win coming by way of knockout. Please welcome Kelvin King.
All right, here we got another action-packed fight in store here. We'll see. Referee's going to give their instructions, and we're going to have the fighters touch gloves, and then we will hear the bell ring for the first round of another action-packed fight. It's in store for us right now.
4 rounds
Both fighters come from North Carolina, so this is going to be a little bit of bragging rights here. So we'll see who can win this fight. Waiting for the first bell. Got one of the fighters already halfway across the ring before the bell rang. He wants this fight to start. Here he goes. Okay, both fighters look like they're coming out in an orthodox stance, which means they lead with that left jab. And right now they are trying to see and get to know each other rather quickly. Those left hands are coming out of the pocket real fast, followed by a right hand. All right? I'm not going to have too much of a filling out process here, but they're assessing and seeing and getting their distance with each guys. Nothing really big exchanged yet. White looks a little off balance and a little awkward with his stance, and when he punches, he's got to keep those feet underneath him. And Kelvin King looks like he's just biding his time. He's got his hands up. I like his style there. His hands are back up. He's got his head bent down. He looks like he's more of a traditional throwback of what we see as a orthodox fighter. Jabs are being exchanged. Looks like White got the better of that exchange. Kelvin is just biding his time. He's looking up there. He's waiting for a mistake. And there he looked like he was looking to land a right hand to the rib section, but he missed. All right. You see the busier fighter right now is Michael White. He's keeping that left hand out there, just keeping Kay off distance. And Kay walked in there, tried to hit him with the right to the body, and he walked into a right hand given by White. White, good for White. He came out with that right hand. He landed it right on target. Didn't seem to hurt Kay, though. And Kay's going right back in there, dishing out a good right hand to the midsection, right there to the solar plexus. Oh, and White just delivered a great jab to the face of Kay. Oh, and he followed with a right hand, and Kay comes up with a right hand. All right, these guys are getting in real good with some nice shots. And they both want to fight to win. I can see that right now. White is looking like he wants to lead. And he just lunged in with a left hook that caught but didn't hurt Kay. And Kay is keeping a tight posture. He's a hard target like that. He's getting hit on the elbows and maybe on the shoulders, but nothing really is getting through to his... Oh, he just walked into a big right hand by Michael White. Michael White just timed it perfectly, threw a right hand, and boom! Kay walked right into it. Kay got shaken up by that fight, by that right. All right, here we go. We got about 5 seconds left in this action-packed first round of this fight. There we go. Well, we just saw a good action-packed first round of a middleweight fight, or junior middleweight fight, and I'll tell you what. Good round of applause here. These were good fights here. I mean, good action in this first round of these two fighters. Kelvin King had his moments. And I would say that I thought he was on his way to winning this round, but I saw Michael White pull some stops real fast towards the end of that round. And in my unofficial scorecard, I'm going to give Michael White that round. So I'm going to give him 10 points, and I'm going to give Michael King 9 points. But we'll see what happens. This fight's early. I think Kelvin King just was caught off guard, caught in surprise, because I think he walked into a real big right hand and definitely got his attention. And credit to Michael White. He timed it, he planned it, and he executed it. There's some ice chips and ice cubes right in the corner that could be dangerous. They got to wipe that out. They fell from the bucket, and they got ice. They're kicking it out of the ring right now. Somebody could slip on that, and that's no pun intended. Slipping on ice is very dangerous in a fight game. Especially when you tell your opponent to look down at the ice. All right, here we go. Here goes round two. Bell just rang, and both fighters, they're going to resume where they left off in round one. They both come out throwing bombs. Michael White, I'll tell you, he's definitely looking like he's got a surprise he's waiting to have in store for Kelvin K. But Kelvin K is coming out there. He's got his hands up. He looks like he's well schooled early on in his career. He just threw that jab out. He threw 3 consecutive jabs, stepping forward, catching Michael White off balance. And each time he threw that jab, he brought that left hand right back to its position being up, which is great. That's what you want, because many times a fighter will follow a right hand over that jab and find a home with having the chin as his target. All right, and Kelvin K just landed a good right hand on Michael White, and Michael White came back with a right lead. All right, so this is proving to be a really good round, starting off real fast. Oh. An uppercut that missed by K. I'm sure Michael White is glad about that because it looked like it had some bad intentions behind it. Another right hand miss. Oh! And he slipped a punch, beautifully slipped a punch with Kelvin K. And he hit Michael White with an uppercut to the midsection. Well executed. Slipped the punch, came in with an uppercut, and bam, it hit home. And Michael K. just got a home. No, I'm sorry. White just landed a beautiful right hand to the solar plexus. You know, if you start a body attack early, you hope later in the fight that it pays dividends when the fighter gets tired and it brings his hands down. Oh, boy, I'll tell you what, Michael White just ate a textbook right hand from Kelvin K. Beautiful right hand. He took it, he's holding on. He doesn't look hurt. He's coming back with his own uppercuts and inside fighting. Oh, and a big right hand, too. Tell you what, this is a good exchange. This is a very evenly matched fight. There's 5 seconds of punching wasn't thrown, so that's a first. But they're both sizing each other up, and we have, there's an uppercut, followed by a left hook return from K, and now he's opening up some wide body shots right on Michael White. So Kelvin K is dishing, and a chopping right hand lead right over the guard of Kelvin K by Michael White. Oh, and a floating right hand to the side of the body of White from Kelvin K. So these guys are finding their targets early. There's a beautiful right hand by Kelvin K. Beautiful right hand. Oh, and a right hand goes upstairs, and a left hook to the body. And another right hand by Kelvin K to Michael White. Michael White definitely, he doesn't look hurt, but he's definitely getting the worst of this exchange. The bell just rang, and I'm sure that the corner, as well as Michael White, is glad that bell just rang. Because I'll tell you what, he was on the receiving end of some real big punches by Kelvin K. I'll tell you what, that was a great round, good exchange, and I'm going to give that round, not just because of the last half, but I think that Michael K. definitely landed some bigger shots there. So on my unofficial scorecard, I gave each of the 2 rounds to each fighter. One round to first round to Michael White, the second round to Kelvin K, and we are getting ready for the start of the 3rd round. And we see Michael White sitting on his stool, getting instructions from his cornerman. And we see Kelvin K choosing to stand. It's an old psychological ploy there. He's saying to his opponent, I'm ready for you, pal. I don't need to sit. I'm standing for you. And he's right in the middle of the ring. Referee doesn't like that. He's got to wait in your corner till the bell rings. And here we go. The start of the next round, round 3. All right. White's coming out with some good jabs. K's keeping those hands up like I like. He just came in with an explosive left to the body. He lunged with it, but wasn't as clean as it could have been. Again, Michael White is throwing that jab out there, trying to get his distance. And we see Kelvin K. He just threw a left-right. He lunged in with that right, missed his target. And let's see, White is holding on right now because he just got tagged with another right hand. And he just dished out a right hook. Hard right hook that landed to the chest of Kelvin K. Kelvin K looks like he's a little stronger at this point of the fight, though. I will tell you, in my humble opinion. And I think he's landed some of the more telling blows. He just landed a great right hand to the solar plexus and followed with a left hook. And then we see Michael White coming back with some uppercuts inside. And an overhand right by Michael K inside. And then he gets hit with his solar plexus with a nice right hook from Kelvin King. This is a nice fight, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very evenly matched fight. There's so many exchanges here. I think Michael White just had a glancing left hook, hurt him, and now he's eating some big body shots and overhand punches and uppercuts, and he comes right back with another uppercut of his own. So Kelvin King looks like he's so dominant, he just caught him with an overhand right, big, and then we got Michael White inside, tying him up and hitting him with uppercuts. What a great fight. This is a great exchange. This is boxing, this is fighting. These guys both want to win, ladies and gentlemen. This is boxing. This is unbelievable to see these guys put it out there. They're challenging themselves. They're thinking they're each going to win this fight and be better. And I'll tell you what, I give each fighter a lot of credit here because they're both getting hit with some big shots and they're biting the bullet and coming back for some real strong exchanges and saying, hey, I'm not done yet, guy. I'm coming right back at you. Big right hand by Kelvin King and Michael White at the end of the bell. And I'll tell you what, that was a very evenly matched round. Big exchanges, but I'll tell you what, something tells me that I saw that fight maybe in the favor of my humble, unofficial opinion go to Kelvin King. So that's 2 rounds to 1 for Kelvin King in my unofficial opinion. And wouldn't you know it, but I think Kelvin King chose to use the stool this round. So in between rounds. I don't think standing was going to be an option. His trainer got the stool in the ring before he even got back to the corner. All right, now we are ready for the start of round 4, ladies and gentlemen, which has been 3 rounds of action-packed fight right here, right now, with great exchanges, and each fighter, there's been a good ebb and flow in this fight, and each fighter is doing a great job. I give them a lot of credit. And here we go. The bell rang, and here comes the start of round 4. Kay comes right out with a great jab. A lot of authority behind that jab. He was lunging in, and wouldn't you know it, Michael White had an answer for him. Says, don't you just jump on me yet. I'm going to hit you. And that's exactly what he did. Oh, there. Boy, I'll tell you what. The sweat is flying off these guys, and I might need an umbrella at the end of the night. Oh, great left hook there by Michael White. Right over the hands of Kelvin King. And Kelvin King comes right back. He's tidying him up. Good exchanges between these two fighters. I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, these guys both want to win. They're putting it all out there for each other. They each have had their moments. But right now, it looks like that I think that Kelvin King looks a little stronger. How should I'll actually say he looks a little bit more physical inside when they tie up. He looks a little bit more physically stronger, and he wants to prove that point when he gets tied up with Michael White. Michael White's starting to cross his feet too, and he's either getting tired or maybe some of those punches are starting to wear him down. And you can't count him out because every time you think he gets hit, boom, he comes back with another shot, just like he's doing right now. They are fighting inside, exchanging some uppercuts and hooks. They break apart just to get a glance of each other, and they're going to get ready. And they're not boxing their way in there. They're lunging with one big shot, and they stay there to trade it with each other. So let's see what happens. I think if they learn how to box their way in, they'll be saving themselves some good time and trouble. Michael White just lunged in with a body shot, and they tied up, and Kelvin King is ready to go back, and he lunged in right now with Michael White lunging in with a right cross. And they're tying up now. They're both getting a little tired. We are in the 4th round, and it's been an action-packed fight. And this is a very tiresome fight. because you're tying each other up, you're wrestling inside there, you're throwing punches, you're expanding and spending energy. And I'll tell you what, Michael White just exchanged some great uppercuts and left hook. He slipped a punch too, and he's slipping punches inside there, but he just got hit in the body with a solid right hand. And Kelvin King looks like he's trying to put some combinations in on Michael White. These guys are fighting inside, they're fighting outside, they're fighting to win. I see Michael White, like I said, he's trying to be a little stronger and more dominant when they tie up. He's leaning on his body on him, and but maybe he's got a little bit more body weight on him right now. He looks like a bigger fighter, but we'll see. Referee breaks him apart. And we see Michael White coming in with a wide left hook that did find a home. And we see here we've got Kelvin King coming back with a right hand. And now they're both exchanging punches. Another action-packed round 4. And they're both getting in it. They're both, hey. Okay, we just saw right there at the end of round 4, we just saw an exchange after the bell. These fighters are not building too much love for each other, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting a little personal out there. We don't want to see any unsportsmanlike conduct here. And that was round 4. And we have the ring card girl showing us that it's going to be the start of round 5 if these guys don't get disqualified by trying to spit water at each other or so. But the fight's a good enough fight. They don't need to have antics after the fight. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We saw the ring card girl bring up the round 5 card, and this was a 4-rounder, so that fight is over. This fight is in the history books here, and I'll tell you what, I could almost see this fight going the way of a draw. I could see Kelvin King maybe getting this victory, but I would not be surprised if this fight ends as a draw. But otherwise, in my unofficial pick. Yeah, I'll tell you what. This was a heck of a fight. And just like most fighters, after the final bell, after they declare their animosity to each other, they wind up hugging, smiling, and kissing each other, saying, "Hey, good fight. I'll get you next time." So we're going to see what the official announcement is going to be. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I think in my unofficial pick, Kelvin King may have won that fight, but I will not be disappointed nor surprised if Michael White comes away with a draw and maybe even a victory. And we see a lot of these fighters here tonight that are wearing pink boxing gloves to honor Christy Martin, who really is proud and pushed for the pink. And of course, that's all the things that we need to support women and cancer and things like that. And it's all good. So we are fighting with pink tonight, and I think that's great. It says a great thing. After all, aside from fights, we're all on the same side. We're all human beings, and we're all equal, and we're all trying to make it through life in a great way and live a beautiful journey that we can help create with the good guidance and grace of God above. Well, I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I enjoyed that fight. That was an action-packed fight, and it did not end in a knockout or early fight. That went the distance. That was a 4-round fight, action-packed fight. As I said in my unofficial pick of the card, I think that Kelvin King may have earned himself a victory, but I will not be disappointed nor surprised if the fight was viewed and goes the other way in the eyes of the judges to Michael White, and let alone, you only got 3 options if a fight goes the distance. One fighter can win, the other fighter can win, or it can end in a draw. So I can see all 3 options having the conclusion. And that's why they use 3 judges, because, between the 3 judges, 2 out of 3 rule. Ladies and gentlemen, we are streaming worldwide. Here we are right now. We've got fans all over the universe right now watching this fight.
Judge number 2 scored this bout 39-37, King.
Hey, so far.
Judge number 3 scored this bout 38-38.
What did I say, ladies and gentlemen? I predicted a draw. And what do you think we have? We have a draw here. I said this could be a good fight. It could go in any scenario. I could see Kay getting a fight. I could see White getting a fight. And I could see it becoming a draw. And you know what? I think it was a well-fought draw. And I think they should pick this fight up next time in round number 5. So I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, what a great display of heart and ability and opportunity. I'll tell you what, these two combatants did a great job. And they fought to win, and they fought to a draw. My hat's off to them. They did it. They put it out there, and they won. They both won in the form of a draw. So I'll tell you what, though, it was a great fight. And you know what? Here's what happens. You got a fighter in Kelvin King. He came into this fight with an undefeated record of 1-0. 1 win, no defeats, 1 knockout. And to walk away now, he still is undefeated, and he's got 1 draw on his record. So, tell you what, he still has that O that he protected. But I'll tell you what, we see right now, Kelvin King has a microphone in his hand, and these guys are talking to each other. I think they're going to put some kindle on a fire and create a rematch here. I'll tell you, I see it right now. They're challenging each other. The camps are challenging each other. We just got word that this fight is going to have a rematch. So I'll tell you what, neither fighter was satisfied with the draw, and each fighter feels they won the fight. And just in a perfect fashion, you have 3 judges, ladies and gentlemen. 1 judge gave it to Kelvin King. The other judge gave the fight to Michael White, and the 3rd judge scored the fight even. So that's a perfect scenario for a draw, but lends itself to a perfect scenario for a rematch. So hopefully we'll pick up in the next few months in round number 5. That was an action-packed fight. I'll tell you what, that was a great fight right there. I'm glad that both fighters, hey, you know what? It ended in a good draw. I think it was earned by both fighters, and I would like to see. And ladies and gentlemen, that was a great fight. And we're going to break for a nice quick commercial and let our advertisers say some things, and we're going to come right back to you in just a moment. So thank you for joining us here for the Bull City Beatdown, action-packed night of fights. I'm Sal.
Hi, Billy C. here. I want to talk to you about Sal's Neighborhood Pizzeria and Ristorante Italiano. Sal's Neighborhood Pizzeria and Ristorante Italiano serves the freshest and finest homemade Italian cuisine with Sal's family recipes from the old country. Sal's incredibly delicious brick oven pizza is the best pizza I've ever had. And I'm from New York. Come join us today on St. Simon's Island in the beautiful Golden Isles of Georgia. We're located at exit 29 off of I-95. Sal's is open for lunch and dinner Monday through Saturday, with private parties available on Sundays. For more information, call 912-268-2328 or go to salsneighborhoodpizzeria.com. Sal's Neighborhood Pizzeria and Ristorante Italiano, where new faces become old friends, and our family tradition is to serve you the very best.
Tell me, Kenny, how is it you rub my belly so fine with that secret rub of yours? And don't even tell me what you're gonna do next. I love you, Kenny Bear. Tell me, Kenny baby, what you gonna do next?
Kenny Bear's home for the barbecue rub and seasoning. Grab a bottle today.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sal Rocky Senecola, sitting with you live here at ringside for the Bull City Beatdown with a great night of action-packed fights. I'll tell you, in the last fight we just saw tonight against Kelvin King and Michael White, that was a fight that they fought to a draw. Go figure, perfect draw. One judge gave the fight to White, another fight gave the other judge gave the fight to King, and the 3rd judge scored the fight completely even. So that's how it ended in a draw. And I'll tell you what, I want to be ringside for the rematch because I think one fighter is going to be a little more dominant that next time out. They're very familiar with each other. We are being in front of some great fights here tonight, and I'm very excited to be here, and I'm very honored to be the ring color coordinator here and the punch-by-punch, blow-by-blow announcer here. It's been a lot of fun. You fans have been great. We have a sold-out crowd here. Christy Martin has promoted a fantastic event, and it's just a great night of boxing. And I'm very excited to be here, and I want to say hi to all of our fans out there. Again, Sal Rocky Senecola, we are live here. We are live here right now, and we are getting ready for the main event of the evening, which is going to prove to be a real good fight. And we have a definite big fight coming up to you with the main event, and it's going to be Donnie Marshall versus Chukka Willis. And this is beyond a shadow of a doubt. We've got each fighter here. We've got about, let's see, we have them weighed in. They look like they weighed in yesterday, both even, about 155 pounds, which is in between the junior middleweight division and middleweight division. Junior middleweight division being 154 pounds, middleweight division being 160. So they're right on the cuffs to go either way there. And we have definitely Donnie Marshall comes in with a perfect record of 7 wins, 0 defeats with 5 knockouts to his credit. And I'll tell you what, he's known as Dangerous, Donnie Marshall. And I'll tell you, he comes from Buffalo, New York, where Sal's Neighborhood Pizzeria gets their chicken wings. And I'll tell you what, Buffalo, New York has produced some really good fighters through the years. And he is stepping in the ring against Chukka Willis, who also came in about 155 pounds. And he is from Missouri, I think Kansas City, Missouri. And he's originally from Nigeria. And he's known as the Lion King. So we got the Lion King Willis. Both fighters came in about 155 pounds, and both fighters are going to give us, I'm sure, an action-packed main event. And can't wait for this fight to start. This has been a great night of fights and a very great night of success here for Christy Martin Promotions. I'll tell you, it's fantastic. And LDLTV has done a phenomenal job, and all of our support here by the fight fans has been outrageous. It's been just terrific. Everybody's here, a festive atmosphere. I saw my friend Ray Mercer here. Ray Mercer was one of the last Olympic gold medalist heavyweights for our country, I think in '88. And he also was the heavyweight champion of the world. Ray Mercer comes down often to our pizzeria on St. Simon's Island, along with Bobby Ches and several other top-name fighters. And Marlon Starlin is a good friend of ours, and it's always a good festive time, and we have some great nights of fights at Sal's Neighborhood Pizzeria on St. Simon's. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm just glad I actually got out of our little island tonight to come to the Bull City Beatdown here in Durham, North Carolina at the Armory to be witness and to be in the position to be the announcer here of the blow-by-blow description of all these fantastic fights. I'm honored. I love it. I love it. I'm having a great time, and the audience has been fantastic. And we have this gentleman right here, Bruce Foster's been fantastic. And Bruce Foster and I got to know each other a little bit. He is also, I said earlier, a New England Golden Glove champion from the early 70s. And he was going to the National Golden Gloves, and I think he got an injury which kept him from that. And ironically, the gentleman that he beat in the finals of the Golden Gloves went as his substitute to the National Golden Gloves. And that's Bruce talking right now, making some announcements about TV.
Ustream, YouTube, Facebook, Live, and Periscope. My man Sal is pumping it out here at ringside.
Well, there we go. We are getting ready for the final fight of the evening, and I'll tell you what, we can't wait. This is going to be a great fight. Everybody's done a fantastic job. The production of this fight card has been phenomenal, really has. Ladies and gentlemen, it is something. I've been on both sides. I've been in that ring hundreds of times, and I've been outside the ring just a few times. And to know what has to go on between the setting up of production and what a promoter has to go through, and all the facets that you see here, from the lighting to the camera, to the announcers, to the referees, to the fighters, to the concessions, to everything, having to be all like a symphony coming together and playing in tune at once. It really is phenomenal. And that's the responsibility of a promoter. And Christy Martin Promotions, and Christy Martin here, has done a phenomenal job, along with LDLTV and everybody here that has helped produce this fight, including the fighters. So my hat's off to them all. This has been a great night of fights, action-packed night, and I am very, very humbled and grateful to be a part of it. And I want to thank everybody for giving me that opportunity. And I hope you fans at home have been, and worldwide, have been enjoying this night of fights as well. Again, I'm Sal Rocky Senecola, and if you love the sport of boxing, you're going to love with some of the things that you've seen here tonight. And I can't wait to see this final fight as the main event. And it's going to prove to be an action-packed fight. And we have been looking for some big fights in the professional ranks on the television. And I'm all excited. I want to see how this news develops with the possible negotiation and signing between the two world heavyweight champions meeting together. And I'm talking about Deontay Wilder fighting Anthony Joshua. Each is a champion in their own right. Anthony Joshua has the majority of all the heavyweight championship belts. Deontay Wilder has a heavyweight championship belt. We're trying to see if we can get these two champions together for one unification fight that'll have an ultimate world heavyweight champion. It's been a long time since we've had one heavyweight champion in the world. And if these two fighters, who are both undefeated, both have a devastating punching power, both have a heart of a lion, and they have both proven to be credible world champions. Both fighters have picked themselves up off the canvas before and have come back to win and be dominant in a dominant fashion. So we're hoping that the powers that may be will get everything and the ink to the paper and give what the fight fans have been waiting to see, and that will be the unification heavyweight championship fight, and we'll have between Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. So hopefully they're going to iron out those issues, and those contractual agreement will come to fruition, and we'll see that happening over the next couple of days. And we have a lot of other things happening in the fight world. We have Gennady Golovkin, who is Triple G, fighting on Cinco de Mayo, and he will be defending his title, although he was supposed to fight against Canelo Alvarez, who I do like Canelo Alvarez. You know, we had an issue here with Canelo Alvarez going through a suspension period. He was caught and came up with his blood test using some illegal substance, and he claims it was from some of the beef he ate in Mexico that has some of these artificial chemicals in their bodies, and you know, we just got to listen to what the regulation and rules say, and you know, it was found in his bloodstream, so they did suspend him and penalize him, and I think it's just going to be a 6-month suspension, retroactive from when it was discovered. So I'm sure we'll see Canelo Alvarez back in action, but we'll see Triple G defending his title on May the 5th. Some other big fights are coming our way, and I think that we have a stellar year in store. I'll tell you what, 2017 was a big year in boxing. You know, when we see big fights happening, and not just fighters looking to have a dance with one partner here on their way out or something else, but when you see a fighter, a champion, challenge them themselves and wanting to seek out and fight the best available opponent in their division, I mean, that's what we started to see in 2017, and that's what we're starting to see in this 2018. So if anyone thinks that the sport of boxing is dead, forget about it. It's right here, and we're right here now with you. Well, I want to give also another big shout out to all of our Ustream and YouTube fans. I hear we got another big fan contingency, and I really thank all of you fans out there, and especially YouTube. So thank you so much for being YouTube, because YouTube is my tube. I thank you guys so much, and I hope we have all these boxing enthusiasts. I love the sport of boxing, and I'll tell you, the squared circle is still alive, coming back, and we're ready to bring in the action to you right now. And here is Bruce Foster making the announcements for the main event of the evening. Okay, Chukka Willis is waiting to come out. He's known as the Lion King. He's about 155 pounds, and he's from Kansas City, Missouri, originally from Nigeria. So we're going to see. I've seen some Nigerian fighters, and let me tell you something. They have a style of their own, and they are dangerous. And they're tough fighters. They come at you, and they have some heavy guns that they bring into the ring. I'm telling you that right now. Here we go. Here's Chukka Willis. Chukka the Lion King Willis.
His opponent in the blue corner, freebie, Donnie Marshall.
And there we have the local favorite from Buffalo, New York. Not so local to North Carolina, but Buffalo, New York. He's a fan. He's getting a good response here from a lot of the fans. He's probably a good fan contingency. All right, Donnie Marshall is coming in to some of the chants of Michael Tyson. If that can't get you up and motivated for a fight, I'll tell you what. That's a tough one to overcome. Michael Tyson, I'll tell you what, he was so explosive. And, you know, I can definitely say that Mike Tyson was one of the most feared heavyweights ever to step into the ring. Mike Tyson would win a fight before the fighter heard the first bell. Because psychologically, Mike Tyson got into a fighter's head, his opponent's head. He had this gloom and doom aura about himself, and he was so explosive. He was only 5'10" as a heavyweight, but he had the trunk and the system and the strength of the punches coming from the legs and his whole torso. It was like a cork being unwound and electrifying and coming unspun. And he just did a great job of delivering punches at an explosive angle. And each punch he threw set up the next punch to damage and deliver and demise and crush his opponents.
First, let me introduce you. Coming out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks trimmed in gold. He weighed in at 155 pounds. Originally from Nigeria, now training and fighting out of Kansas City, Missouri. His record, 3 wins against only 3 losses. Please welcome Chukka Lion King Willis. His opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing trunks trimmed in black and red. This young man weighed in at 155 pounds. He was the 2017 Fighter of the Year in North Carolina. Originally from Buffalo, New York, now training and living in Raleigh, North Carolina. His professional record, 7 wins, no losses, 5 big wins by way of knockout. Please welcome Dangerous Donnie Marshall!
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is guaranteed to be an action-packed fight. We have 2 good fighters, 1 undefeated fighter in Donnie Marshall. And we're going to see if he can keep that O and keep that protected and do away with his opponent, who's going to have something else to say about that. Chukka Willis, originally from Nigeria, now from Missouri, is known as the Lion King. And tell you what, to win a fight against Donnie Marshall is going to be known as the Lion-Hearted too. So we're going to see what happens. All right, the seconds are getting out of the ring, the cameraman out of the ring, and the ring announcer Bruce Foster is stepping out of the ring now, and then we're going to wait for the bell of the first round. Referee is the third man in the ring, and he's doing a great job himself. All right, both fighters meet in the center of the ring. We've got Willis on his toes, bobbing up and down a little bit. And we have Donnie Marshall coming out, a little more, little head movement, trying to give a different angle. There's a jab to the body by Willis. Okay, and Marshall is in the black trunks with the gold stripe. And we have Chukka Willis from Nigeria in the yellow striped black trunks. All right, they're just starting to feel their way through here, trying to get the range and put out that jab and get the distance between them, see what they got to work after, work with, and work as far as their range. See Marshall right now extending that left out, trying to use it as a sword, jousting a little bit and getting a distance. Tying up now. They decided to get in close here. Willis is breaking away, and let's see, he's on his toes. He's coming in. His left hand is down low. He's dropping that after he throws that jab. It's right down now by his waist or chest. Moving his head, giving him a different angle, so that's good. You don't want to keep the head as a stationary target. And Marshall looks like he's doing a good job establishing his dominance in range and reach. I think he is a taller opponent. And, you know, when you're a shorter fighter in Willis, he should fight small because that gives more trouble, I think, in my opinion, to a taller fighter when you are a harder target to hit and you come at different angles and you work the body and work the head. But, you know, that's my opinion. Right now, we have his head fully exposed. Willis is keeping his head up there and his hands down. That's going to be dangerous because that's going to be a great target for Marshall. And Marshall's using it just like that. He's going to catch him with a jab. He's going to tee off. Again, Willis threw a nice jab to the body, but he left that hand down and he got hit with a right hand. Now he just got hit with a jab. He's got to bring that left hand up. That left hand's got to stop those jabs and stop some of those punches. And if it's down by your waist, it's not going to stop anything. Unless your head's fast enough and you can move, that's it. Willis just tried to come in with a two-punch combination. He lunged. He did catch it with a right hand. Marshall's content with staying on the outside, using his distance, his length in his arms as a gauge to keep his opponent off of him. And it's working very effectively in this first round for him. He's almost pawing with that left hand out there to get that distance, and hopefully he's looking to open up with that right hand. All right, it was a decent round to get to know each other, and after one round, and my unofficial pick for that round, I'm going to score that round in favor of Donnie Marshall. So I'm going to give that a 10-9 round in favor of Donnie Marshall, my unofficial pick and my unofficial opinion. Chuck Willis, I can tell right now, I think he's got to put some punches together. I think he's got to keep his hands up, and he's got to give some head movement, and he's got to punch in combinations. Throwing one punch at a time, in my opinion, is not going to get the job done against a taller, lankier Marshall. He's got to be able to get inside Willis. Willis has got to get inside of Marshall is what I mean, and he's got to throw some combinations to the body and work it up to the head. But I think Marshall right now is very content with keeping Willis off him by keeping that left hand, that jab out there, and keeping Willis off him. Why he's waiting to unload that right hand, because I can see that's what he's doing. He's keeping that right hand cocked, and he's going to wait for an opportunity. All right, let's see what happens in round two. There's the bell. All right, and we have Willis just lunging in, and now they're tying up. Willis has got to slip his way in and avoid some of those punches and come in. Throws a jab. He threw a jab to the body. It landed home on Marshall. Marshall is keeping those long arms out there. Willis is trying to jab to the body. But those hands are down low, I'm telling you. He's gonna eat an overhand right once Marshall could get that time and that distance. In my opinion, I'm sorry. All right, there's the jab. Jab from Willis. And then he chooses to lunge in and put his head down. with his arms down too. So they're going to tie up. Marshall breaks away. Marshall's got his hands out there. He throws a jab. Willis came overhead with a right hand. He's just slapped him with a right hand to the body, the side of the body. It hit home on Marshall. And Marshall is crossing his arms and keeping his left down low as well. So it is a target. If Willis wants to throw a right lead, he might catch him. And Willis, with that low left hand, just walked into a right hand by Marshall. I'm telling you, he's got to keep that left hand higher. And guess what? He just did. He just raised it up about 6 inches. All right, let's see what happens here. Both these fighters are tying his hands down. He's getting caught with a punch. Again, there's another left-right and a right-left that Marshall just landed on Willis. Willis is moving his hands not in time or coordinating his hand movement with his head movement. And that's leaving his head exposed, and that's what Marshall is trying to hit right now. All right, Willis just came in with a 3-punch combination. Got Marshall with a body shot and hit him with an overhand right to the head. Now they're tying each other up. No fighter looks like they're giving each other any damage, but they're getting each other's attention. Okay, there's Willis inside. That's what he's doing. Now he's coming on, delivering some good combinations inside, but, you know, he's got to create that opening, that distance, too. So that was another round in the books. In my opinion, a little bit of an uneventful round. Nobody really had that much dominance there, but in my unofficial opinion, I am going to give that round to Willis because I thought he was a busier fighter when he was inside, and he threw some punches that did hit home. Marshall did land some shots from the outside, but again, I think Willis was a little busier on that level, so I'm going to give that round to Willis. Round 4? She is round 3. All right. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the start of round number 4. All right, I think Willis needs this round to get a draw. We'll see what happens, in my opinion. Okay, they start by going at each other. I'm sorry? Yeah, this is 4 rounds. I think this is scheduled for a 4-rounder. All right, let's see what these guys could do in this 4th round. All right, we see Marshall coming out, trying to be very effective with that jab and that left hand. He's moving that left hand, and he is catching him, but Willis is finally starting to throw combinations on the inside. He's got to work his way inside. He just can't lunge on his way inside, because when he lunges his way inside, he's going to get caught with punches. Like he did there, but now he's able to get some distance, and he's able to land some punches. They look like powder puff punches. He's not throwing anything behind it. So it's not hurting Marshall. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the 4th round of a 6-round fight. So this fight is still up for grabs. We got to see somebody dominant right now. And maybe this round's going to tell the tale right now. I have 2 rounds to 1 right now with Marshall. Both just waiting and seeing each other, trying to size up each other. There's a good little feint by Marshall. He went right to the liver with a hook. And now Marshall's being effective. He's trying to be cute. He's feinting a little bit here, and he's throwing some punches. And Willis is content with tying him up and throwing some powder puffs. I don't know what he's doing, but and Marshall is unleashing some good barrage of punches himself. So Willis is trying to tie him up, trying to stay inside. He's throwing these little powder puff punches, and Marshall's retaliating by throwing some big, heavier shots. So Willis has the right idea. He's just not throwing the power behind him. He's throwing arm punches. And he's not being effective because he's not going to dissuade or keep Marshall off him like that. He's throwing just arm punches. There's a glancing left hook by Willis to Marshall. Marshall's trying to see his opportunities. And he just came up with a double left hook to Willis. And Willis is content with just throwing a little shoe shine here and there. And as we used to call it, they look like very light powder puff punches. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm calling them. because there's no authority behind him. There's nothing going to hurt him. Okay, Marshall stepped back, caught him with a good combination, and I see Willis is a little shaky right now. He got caught with some shots, but don't count him out because he's coming back with some shots himself. Both fighters are showing a little bit of fatigue. They're laying on the ropes and leaning against each other. And Willis now is coming up with some big shots. He's taking that opportunity. And Marshall was biding his time and coming out with some shots to answer with and countering now. All right, that was a good round. That was a good fourth round. I'll tell you what, could have been a hard round to judge because of what Willis did on the inside, but in my humble opinion, again, I'm going to give that one to Marshall. And I have 3 rounds to 1 for Marshall in my unofficial pick of opinion. Willis has got to win the next round or 2. He's in the corner. He's talking to his cornerman. And, you know, we're used to seeing instructions given to a fighter from the cornerman. And, you know, it's usually what a fighter can assess, but what a cornerman could see as far as where he's not making the progress or what the game plan or what the fight plan may be. And I see a little bit more instructions given in Marshall's corner that looks like it's being paid attention to by Marshall. Willis will see what happens here. Fighters touch gloves. Start at round number 5. Willis is tying up Marshall, trying to throw some of those powder puff punches I said earlier. Marshall's creating distance there, getting back the longer jab and trying to throw some wide hooks. He just caught Willis with a good hook, followed with a right hand. Willis is moving his head on the inside and moving away, but he's staying too stationary right now, and I think Marshall's just sizing him up, trying to see when he's going to open up on him. Oh, good right lead by Willis. Good right lead. He hit he hit Marshall with a right lead and a left hook. Got his attention, but there he is. Now he's tying up, and he's going back to just the sloppy punches. Slappy, not sloppy. They're little powder puff punches that Willis is throwing when he's inside. I don't know why. I think you can put a little bit more power or leverage or torque behind him, because arm punches are not going to hurt this guy, Marshall. All right, so Willis just came in, threw an overhand right. Didn't do much damage, but got the attention of Marshall. Marshall's winding up now and throwing some heavier shots. Good left hand that Willis got in on Marshall. That was a solid left hand that he threw. It was like a left lead going in, but it caught Marshall coming in. Marshall now is keeping Willis off with a jab, but he's got to follow up. He's got to put something else behind that jab. Willis ties him up. They're inside again. And here comes the powder puff by Willis. It's just slapping and a little powder puff. I don't know what he's doing, biding his time, jockeying for position, as I say. There's a left hook he threw on the break and a glancing left hook that went over the top head of Willis from Marshall. And now Marshall is trying to get range home and just gave a double left hook. Both fighters are throwing some body shots and throwing some head shots. But I think the heavier shots coming from Marshall are starting to hit home and have an effect on Willis. All right, we got Chukka Willis here again, content with being on the inside, tying him up, and just slapping with some punches. Marshall wants to break the distance between them and come with some leverage and some big punches. Marshall just landed a good right hand on Willis. And Willis is now throwing some more punches into the body and trying to come up to the head. There goes a good jab to the solar plexus by Marshall. No, by Willis, I'm sorry, to Marshall. Now they're tying each other up. There's a left hook. We're coming down the last 10 seconds of the bell. Willis is trying to close the round big with some combinations. Again, it's nothing that effective. They're just arm punches, and Willis, I think, came up a little short that round. And again, I think, in my unofficial opinion, I'm giving that to Marshall. So Marshall is definitely establishing a distance, in my opinion. My unofficial scorecard showing that Marshall is creating more of a distance between him and Willis. So I'll tell you what, I think we have our 6th and final round coming up, and I think Willis is going to have a real big round. What I mean by big, I think he's going to have to knock him out, or he's going to have to drop him at least once or twice. And for what I've seen from his powder puff punches, I don't know if he's going to be capable of it. And again, ladies and gentlemen, I could be totally wrong. It has, in my humble opinion, I've been wrong before. But what my eyes see is I see Marshall being a little more dominant here, winning the fight. And I think Chuck Willis, Lion King Willis, needs a big round in his final 6th round. So we'll see if he can provide and deliver for his himself and his fight fans. More ice getting wiped out of Willis's corner. And the start of the 6th and final round is right now. Here we go. All right. They come out throwing a little heavier punches. Willis is showing he wants to throw some heavier shots now. He's doing so. And Marshall's answering with some strong jabs and trying to close that gap. Willis on his toes. Throwing a jab. Marshall delivers a left hook to the body. Willis moving inside. There's a jab to Marshall by Willis. To the stomach. He's holding on, slapping with that right hand glove right there. There he is, slapping right in the kidney right there. Okay, there is Marshall being explosive on the inside, breaking the distance and putting up a good uppercut and left hook combination. Marshall, I think, is being a little more effective on that shortening those punches. He just caught Willis with another left hook. And Marshall's content with sitting on the ropes and let Willis come into him. And why not? Because he's getting a better exchange. Although now Willis, I'll tell you what, he just caught Marshall with a couple good 3 left hooks and a right hand. And here we come in the ebb and flow. We got Marshall coming back with a left hook and an uppercut. All right. They're tying each other up, but both have a free hand. They should be punching with that free hand. Willis just ate a good jab, another jab. And Willis keeps moving forward. Willis is content with just tying up and trying to score some punches. Marshall wants to, when they tie up, Marshall does want to open up that distance and try to counter with some big shots when he steps back. I see a lot of slapping behind Willis's punches. Nothing really with much authority or much intent to hurt. And there's Marshall again trying to provide a little heavier shot. There's a good right hand by Willis, and it was followed by 2 left hooks. And here comes Marshall with the same. Okay, Marshall is coming in with some big shots. He just caught Willis with an uppercut. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the good close of this round because I see Marshall coming back and Willis coming back. Willis just got hit with some good shots, but he came back strong, and he shook his head no, he's not hurt. And 9 times out of 10, ladies and gentlemen, when a fighter shakes his head no, he's not hurt, guess what? He's hurt. He just got caught with a good jab. Willis did. And there's the last 10 seconds of the round. It's a good round. It's closing strong. And there's the end of the bell, which ends this fight. And that's the 6th and final round and the last bell. And I'll tell you, I don't think, in my humble opinion, that Willis did enough to win this fight. That last round could have even gone in his favor, but it wouldn't be enough in my scorecard to provide a victory. Both fighters did have a lot of heart. They showed that they wanted to win this last round. They both gave it their best. I think it was probably one of the better rounds of the 6 rounds. But I think Willis came up short, and I'm going to go with the Marshall winning this fight and maybe going on to an undefeated record of 8-0. But we will see the official announcement coming up right now. The scorecards have been handed in to referee. They're going to be tallied up, and they're going to be given to the ring announcer. Taking the gloves off of each fighter. They both look like they are tired. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are at the Durham Armory in Durham, North Carolina. And this is the all right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Bull City Beatdown here in Durham, North Carolina, where we just saw the last fight, the main event fight with Donnie Marshall remaining unbeaten, now moving to 8 wins, no defeats, against a victory he earned against Chukka Willis. It was an action-packed fight, went the distance, and I'll tell you what, it was a good fight, and I think that both fighters will learn and go on from this fight, which is what fighters need to do. We had the Donnie Marshall fought this fight. I think he fought a smarter fight. He kept Willis off of him, except Willis was trying to lunge in, and he just wouldn't, when it was in the distance, in the range to execute and throw some good heavy punches, they just never materialized. I think he was content with tying up, having a free hand, and just slapping and chopping away at Marshall. Willis, on the other hand, I think he kept a good distance between he and Marshall, and he chose to get inside when he wanted to, and he hit him with some, I believe, heavier shots. And that gave him the rounds. I had the same score as one of the judges, and I think it was 59-55 in favor of Marshall, and he remains undefeated. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you thank you worldwide, Ustream, YouTube, Facebook Live, LDLTV, Christy Martin Promotions. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight, seeing a night full of great fights and a night full of fun affair. We had fans here. It was a great night. I want to thank everybody for being here. Again, I'm Sal Rocky Senecola, coming to you live from the Bull City Beatdown here in Durham, North Carolina, at the Armory, where we are right here signing off. So thanks again, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I love this. It was a great night of fights, and if you're a fight fan, you enjoyed what you saw tonight. So thank you again worldwide, and I want to say good night from Sal Rocky Senecola. Thank you very much.